Till the Streetlights Came On. A Tuesday's Life Books Inspiration. Series 1, Book 1 of 9. This book was written between 1998, June, and 2001, October. Introduction. It's been 2 decades since the first words of this book were scribbled down in a 6x9 sketchbook. There's nothing fancy about the sketchbook itself, although for the first few months of me carrying it, it did have a fancy leather wrapping with leaves and shit on it. The sketchbook was stolen, not by me, but from a high-end store at the mall. The kind of store that sold $250 Chinese checker sets and $40 polished rocks. No horseshit. It was a sketchbook, so there weren't any lines, just blank white pages. The leather wrapping eventually got ditched, and thus began the first series of 9 books, all written in 6x9 hardbound books. Only the first of 2, however, were in sketchbooks. Understanding Thursday was also written in a sketchbook. For those of you not up to speed, Understanding Thursday is the follow-up to this book, and there are 25 books after that. We're getting ahead of ourselves. When I began writing Till the Streetlights Came On, I had no idea what lay ahead of me. I didn't know what I was doing or how long this fascination with writing would go. I had only recently begun writing, but it was film screenplays that I started with, and somehow I ended up writing poetry. I do and don't recall a lot of my first writings, except to say that I'm sure I covered at some point in a subsequent book. I will say, though, that my first few pieces are without a doubt lost. The first writings outside of screenplays were done at Shawnee Mission East High School, home of the Lancers, nerds, which wasn't even my high school, but is where I went to summer school during the summer of 1998, having failed the second semester of sophomore English during the 1997-1998 school year. I had to attend 3 weeks of summer school at Shawnee Mission East, and there our teacher would take us to the neighboring park every morning or so, and have us hang out and write. And this is where I wrote my first pieces. I either turned those writings in and never received them back, or I just threw them away. I honestly don't remember. It truly wasn't until my junior year, 1998-1999, that I really began to write. And while most of the writing didn't kick in until 1999, I will always credit 1998 as being the true origin. 1998 was a year of many firsts. First began to write, first job at a movie theater, first job ever, first time I had sex. I was 16 years old. As I write this now, I'm 36 years old. Anyway. It has been a solid 10 years or more since I've read or proofread this book. But one thing that has always remained the same is the writing itself. While the formatting has changed, everything is still pretty much the same as when the 16-year-old version of me first scribbled it down. I've always been very particular about chronology and leaving things as relatively raw as possible. By doing this, I hope to show growth as a writer and as a person. I have many thoughts about the things written here, but I will keep them to myself. If you can't dislike or disagree with your thoughts as a child, then you really haven't grown up. In this book, I misuse words. I'm also fairly certain that I use words that aren't even words. I use words that I thought were words. I also had a big heart-on for the American typewriter font, and not capitalizing words or using proper punctuation. What I once thought was stylistic, I now find naive and annoying. Hopefully you can look beyond it. This introduction is written in my present-day preference. Every piece is in the proper order as to when it was written, to the best I can recall, and nothing has been altered to make me look like not a fucking idiot. This book is what it is. It's my beginning, and to alter it or erase it would be the same as trying to delete the boy I used to be, which I would never do. So fuck it. Let's go. The BAC, 2018, West Plaza, Kansas City, Missouri. As you'll see, or hear rather, I will stumble over my words and have to repeat a line or two here and there. Quite often I would prophesize, but I'm not going to go back and redo it. So, here we go. We are all entitled to one good scare. He dons a mask and grabs a knife, steps into the night to end her life. It's been 10 years plus 5 more since his sister's body lay upon the floor. She died that night by his hand. He became a menace to the people of the land. He kills to cease the pain inside. Poor souls try to run and hide. He killed Bob, Annie, and Linda too. I wonder who's next. It could be you. Always in search of Laurie Strode. He almost got her in the Doyle abode. Dr. Loomis stopped him in his tracks. He grabbed that kid Lonnie by the bike racks. Driving around in a government car, Dr. Wynn said, "Oh, he can't get far." Sheriff Brackett doesn't believe Dr. L. until Michael sent his daughter to hell. From Smith's Grove to Haddonfield, his kills won't stop nor will they yield. If you're not scared, your ass should be. He's not a bitch like Jason, Chucky, or Freddy. When Andy died, her head hit the horn, all because the shape is inflicted with the curse of thorn. Hypothecra. Voices laugh, a bright sun rises. Innocent souls await surprises. Nothing to do but sit and wait. Bad luck, I wish. It is my fate. Guns start blazing, choppers wail. My stomach churns, I'm turning pale. Shrapnel flies, voices scream. Why can't I awake from this horrific dream? No one laughs, a bright sun rises. Dead souls now, no more surprises. The rain has stopped, no more mud. My hands are clean, but I still see blood. No more grenades, whether live or dud. Clean my hands are, but I still see blood. Back to the world, my wife and kid. Not able to tell my son what his father did. Voices laugh, a new dawn rises. No more souls await surprises. The war is over, it's finally done. I dream at night of all who's gone. My dreams at night take me back to the jungle when we were under attack. I think I'm back in the rain and mud. My eyes are closed tight, but I still see blood. Atrocity exhibition. Words fall upon deaf ears. Glorious images are viewed by a blind eye. Lost souls search for heaven's door, like a needle in a haystack of a bluebird sky. Voices scream in pain and joy. Adults, teens, and children too. Voiceless screams are what they are. I scream them, how about you? Urban kids fight external stimuli. Suburban kids fight the pain inside. Which battle is worse? You tell me. I truly can't decide. To fight the demon, one raises a gun to another's face and fires. Some say it's justified, but fuck all those liars. A person died to end another's pain. However, it doesn't stop. The person died in vain. Internal pain is the worst to feel. There's nothing to crush under your shit-covered heel. Internal pain is caused by you and also many others. You live with it for so long, it's like you're almost brothers. Words fall upon deaf ears. No one seems to care. I really don't know what to do. If I did, would I even dare? In search of heaven's door is what everyone seems to be. All but one have found it. Guess who? That's right. It's me. Rembaudis importante. Shapeless, formless, shaped and formed. Loveless, fearless, loved and feared. Hopeless, heartless, dead and cold. Things I've never felt, but I'm always told. The ones I'll buy are few and true. They are loveless, hopeless, dead and cold. I feel no love, therefore it's less. I have no hope, therefore it's less. Inside I'm dead, outside I'm cold. My point is vague, my words are bold. This is the shit I'm always told. This is the shit I'm always told. I'm shaped and formed and dead and cold. I'm told and told and told and told. This trivial shit is getting old. Cold and dead and formed and shaped. My heart it hurts, my mind it's raped. The truth has never really been told. The truth is this. A dysfunctional Christmas. The doorknob turns along with my stomach. In he walks, bottle in hand. It's almost empty, yet I know he is full. This door slams, he spots me. I'm grabbed and sat upon his knee. My back he pats, my head he strokes, and then he starts with his stupid-ass jokes. Seeing I don't care, he drops me to the floor. My head smashes the ground as the blood starts to pour. Mommy rushes in, knowing what she'll see. He tosses her aside, the table smashes her knee. The belt comes flying off, I cry and I cower. In an alcoholic rage, she shows me who has the power. My skin begins to welt, some begins to tear, dreaming of a better place. As of then, it was anywhere but there. Mommy rises, Dad strikes down. The pain-filled screams echo through the town. The neighbors know what's happening and pretend not to hear. I'm sure glad I bought that belt for him on Christmas last year. Merry Christmas, Mom. To hell with you, Dad. I hope you know you corrupted me, made me full of rage, and at the world I am mad. Enjoyed yourself, I hope you did. My love you'll never have, no matter what the bid. I'm older now and a lot stronger. You better watch your ass, I'll take it no longer. I want redemption, I want your love. If I can't have that, I'll take your blood. A means to an end. Friends are there, but yet they're not. Love is there, but yet it's not. You try so hard to see things through. People want a savior, and all there is you. So fuck it. You open your heart to love everyone. When you need love, they're all but gone. Gone is what everyone seems to be. So when times get tough, all you have is thee. So fuck it. Life is a bitch, or so they say. That's why the pain lasts every day. You help them all through bad and good. You grab a gun to end it all. Do you think you should? So fuck. Inker. Once I looked at my life and I thought, what did I do to have all this pain? I deserve happiness and love. I deserve it, goddammit. I fucking deserve it. My heart aches and I rage inside. It's hard when I'm trapped and tormented by my own mind. I have visions of the one I loved and lost and see the one I love and will never have. Why? Why, motherfucker? Why? I didn't do anything wrong. I've done everything right. But I'll show you, you bastards. I'll show you. I will become strong and rise again. So prepare yourselves, you pricks. I'll redeem myself. New blood. I look up as he stares down. Ghostly emanations pace across my vision. My mind goes round and round. The face looks at me as if I'd always known. His empty eyes glared in a shrill demonic tone. My heart caves in, emotions burst. I've felt this many times, but this, I swear, is the worst. Hatred swelled. I could see it clear. I lied awake that night, knowing he'll appear. Why won't he leave? It hurts so much, I hate him so. He caused it all. He made me break and start to bawl. Fuck, I hate him, God knows why. I wait the day I'm saved. The day the ghost white face dies. Lamentia. God, I hurt. It hurts so fucking bad. Please tell me why. Why? I've had a good life. I have a good family, good friends, and a woman who loves me. But my heart is so tight and full of pain. My emotions overflow like my tears. My soul is black like my heart. Visions in my mind are filled with sights of pain and torture. What do I have to do to make it stop? Please make it stop. Please make it stop. God, make it fucking stop. Apollyon. Love. Peace. Surrender. Peace. I love. Fuck. Love. Peace. Fuck it. Kill me. I rage. Psychopathica. Dark as Poe on a midnight dreary. The only light is a small glint from the corner, a tiny void which represents hope. A black viscous fluid covers the walls, blocking partially their smell of hatred and death. However, the jelly-like fluid harbors its own stench, that of corruption and greed. A hand punctures a small layer of skin that covers the fluid like the skin that forms on a steamy bowl of tomato soup. The hand reaches. It reaches. My God, it reaches. It searches. It searches. It searches for a base, a solid and contented ground. It searches. Finally it hits. 1,000 miles deep. And that is the shallowest part. The shallowest part is 1,000 miles deep. 1,000, shallow, deep, mile, greed, corruption, hatred, hope. He retracts his tired and worn 1,000-mile arm. It is now covered, now corrupted, now covered. The smell of hatred and death is branded upon him. Upon him, branded hatred, death, that smell, my God, the smell. Something that will never come off. Nothing can ever redeem him. Redeem nothing. Nothing can redeem, my God, the smell. All they did was search for hope. Hope, search for. All they did. All they did was search for hope. For a future. For an absolution. Hope. Absolution. Search for. Future. Absolution. Something he will never find. Something. Absolution. Will never. Never will. Find. What is it like to be tormented, raped, and imprisoned by your own fucking mind? A concave scream. Falling angels with moistened eyes, distraught over the cherub's dreary demise. Falling, fall, fallen, sink. No longer the blood of Christ to drink. Seraphim cries, serendipity departs, leaving a void in God's own melancholy heart. Salvation is lost, damnation is found. They fall from his divine presence without even a sound. Verities in Balderdash. I am 18 and I'm going to graduate soon, or at least I'm expected to. And if I do, then what? My whole world will change and my whole life will be different. My best friends who I love will leave to go off and follow their callings. I'll be here alone, thinking, remembering, reminiscing, thinking about the smell of warm oatmeal and hot chocolate after spending an hour playing in the newly fallen snow. Remembering my first kiss down by the creek near my house. Reminiscing about my 3 best friends and how we met, what we accomplished, and what we can never have again. Childhood innocence. Riding our bikes, dreaming of girls, building mud dams in the creek, getting yelled at by our parents for coming home covered in mud. Eventually I will leave the place that I've called home nearly all my life. Leave behind the walls that have witnessed my growth, my happiness, and my torment. Leave behind the pillows and the blankets that comforted me and caught every dreaded tear, tears that were let out over a period of 18 painful and hate-filled years. And I'll leave behind my parents, 2 people who have always been there through those 18 years, but whom I've never really known. What did they enjoy? What interests do they have? How did they feel when I disappointed them? Am I a disappointment? Will they love me forever? I know I will them. Should I tell them that? Do they already know? I'll tell them again anyway. They deserve it. I just hope that the new life that I begin will be as diverse and adventurous as the one I lead now, and also that I can someday show my own kids the same amount of love that my parents have shown me. Green eggs and damned, Sam I am. Tempestuous? I had reasons. Willful? On things good and bad. Everlasting love found. Will it fade? Never knew what I wanted, took everything day by day. You all know how I feel, don't you? Friends listened, but never understood, or if they did, they never acted. Usually I'd withdraw. Helping hands? Ask for? I never did. Relationships? Started. Wanted continuance. Never got. Because of that I died. Right away? No. Eventually? Maybe so. Truthfully? Yes. Truthfully, yes. Near my demise I am. Over and over again I rage. Money? I had. Friends? A few. Happiness? No. Over and over again I rage. My emotions I never show. Rites of the last soon I will hear. Every day I wait for that certain age, the age that I fear. Phoenixonica. Decrepit stars in a devilish sky, streams of crimson flow, it's a time to die. Angelic harps, golden-hued broken strings, an azure soul full of rage, evil things. A raped mind filled with pain, hate, and fears. I'm tired of this shit, fuck it all, no more tears. Heaven doesn't want me, hell must prepare to witness this man of sin to whom no one can compare. Heaven, I don't want. Hell, too easily subdued. Perhaps I'll find redemption, mend my strings on the harp, angelic, golden-hued. A Child's Lament. Father, I was just wondering why you hate me. I know I mess up, but I need guidance. You act as if everything I do upsets you. And it's like no matter how hard I try or how good a job I do, I'll never be up to your standards. But I've tried. I've always tried, and I still do try. When you yell and hit me, I don't understand. Why? I don't see how beating me will change who I am. All it does is eat up everything good that I have inside. It's like you hate me because you don't want me to turn out like you, or that you want me to be better than you. How can I accomplish that when every chance you get, you tear me emotionally down into nothing? I strive to do all I can, and I need your support to do what you've always dreamed I could. But why do you still hate me when I love you, son? The carnival has closed years ago. I look back over everything that I've done in my life, and out of those thousands of things I've done, I can still remember the day I lost my way, the day I was corrupted, the day I became a puppet with the world and all of its perversity as my master, guiding me, teasing me, taunting me, using me. From that day forth, I knew it would be a downward slope, and it has. From that day, I realized how sick and demented our society as a whole is, and how easily a child's mind can be raped of all of its optimistic thoughts. I lost my way that day. I've been struggling to find the trail and get on track. No luck yet. I look back on that day, and all I vividly remember is the doctor saying, "It's a boy." Then he smacked me. What a great start. Shattered in the head. What the fuck is wrong with me? How can I be such an asshole? I don't know why I did it. I just did. I'm a man. I have to indulge myself. It is expected. Shut up. That is bullshit. You're just looking for a way to be guilt-free, and by doing that, you're disgracing her 10 times more than you did by committing the first initial act. I know that. Do you? Yes, I do. Prove it. How? By telling her. I can't. Why can't you? I love her too much. That is no reason not to tell her. It's not? No. That is the one real reason to tell her. And what will that accomplish? Nothing. I'd get a clear conscience, but what would she get? Another broken heart. Another man she loves cheating on her, and a big slap in the face as if all of this was her fault. That is how she'll see it. Since both of her last boyfriends cheated on her, she will think that she's doing something wrong when she's not. She's actually the victim. She doesn't deserve any of this. And I don't deserve her. Gabriel's tears. Is she watching me? No. Does she know me? No. Does she want to? No. Can I still love her? Yes. Damnation. Love. Death, fear, hate, fear, death, love, hate. Do whichever. It's your own fate. I love fear. I hate death. I also love the fear of taking my last breath. Is there anybody out there? Throughout my life, I've battled to show who I am, battled to overcome hardships and also fear. There's always this ambition and drive in me that made me push on and strive to find whatever it is that is calling. But as the song says, I can't keep from falling. The life I thought I'd live, I'd always thought would be adventurous, yet rational and safe. Well, I've come to find no adventure, many irrational actions, and many unsafe situations. However, I seem to be content with that. At least at this point in my life I am. But that will change, hopefully. I've tried many things in my life because I felt this need to. I always quit before I excelled at it, though. I thought that these things were my calling. But I am hopefully going to change. No, scratch that. I am going to change. I now will have a new outlook on life. I'll see the world from a whole new perspective. I'm through the looking glass. I've taken the last train with velocity and passed my own death. I'm taking any and all chances that are thrown at me. And you know why? Because, baby, it's on. A horror show petizza, a tearful sequel. She sits there. I see her. Does she see me? What is she thinking? With her beautiful brown hair. Does she see me? No? That's okay. I still love her. In the doorway nightly sits. There is a song I hear, I don't know the name. The chorus goes, "You cannot save me. I can't even save myself. So just save yourself." Those lyrics, when I first heard them, sounded so selfish. Telling someone that you can't and won't help them is such an irresponsible thing to do. However, the chorus does make a true statement. It has become a mentality that I now condone. All my life I've helped everyone as much as I could, and I've always tried to love everyone, but through it all I've contracted everyone's depression and pessimism. Their outlooks on life are now mine. I feel everyone's hurt and know everyone's pain, and I am filled with rage and anger produced by everyone's hate. Everyone has done this to me. I'm their clear conscience. I'm their salvation. They wipe their guilt-stricken, shit-covered heels on me because I'm their fucking floor mat. And now they're free. And now they are free. Helpless. Helpless is what I be. So I'll just save myself. Angel All Fire. Mother, please forgive me. I just had to get out all my pain and suffering. Now that I am done, remember I will always love you. I'm your son. Daddy by Korn. Mother, I'm sorry. I've never truly appreciated you. Always took you for granted, I did. It has taken me 18 years to realize what you've done to raise me in a good environment and nurture me to the point where I can be independent. I've told you I hate you and called you a bitch. I didn't mean it. You know I truly didn't mean it. It is just that I rage and have so much pain and anger bottled up inside. And when I erupt, it is usually directed towards you, simply because you've always happened to be there when it comes out. You're always there, and I've always been there. That is what I just realized. No matter what I do or say to you, whether or not you deserve it, you have always stayed by my side. And I vow that from this day on, I will stay by yours. Salvation through the flow of ink. For me personally, I have struggled against silence for about 2 years now. My brother left my house to begin a career in the military. I'm happy for him, don't get me wrong. It's just that I never would have imagined that him leaving would put such a huge void in me. When he was here, I could always talk to him. There was hardly any time when I called upon him to talk and he couldn't. After a month of him being gone, I felt I must do something to fill this void. So I did. Writing. More specifically, writing film screenplays. I use this to create people to have conversations with. I could write one person's dialogue and become a whole different person to respond. By doing this, I created a whole new world of friends, enemies, and events. At some points, they were more interesting and eventful than I was. I looked at it as my way of escaping silence. I've never been a big fan of silence. You usually have to be alone to be silent. And when you're alone, all you can do is think. You think about problems and people and how you've been hurt and how your life could be better. I wrote about my problems in these screenplays as a way to pass them off onto someone whom they wouldn't really hurt. That way I wouldn't feel so low. Because if you're alone and feel sad, that is when your head becomes clouded with thoughts of self-pity, low self-esteem, and eventually self-termination. And that really isn't good. So in a way, writing helped me vent my pain and hatred, and in some respects, saved my life. The Hanging Garden. I could never truly understand that in order for me to feel any sort of love, I have to be experiencing some sort of pain. Well, at least to an extent. When I was young, I was always getting into trouble. And of course, I would feel extremely guilty about it, but the worst part was that I would be scared to death my father would find out. Because if he did, and what I did was really bad, then I was in for some heavy beating. Most of the time I get hit with Big Brown, my father's favorite belt, which happens to be the belt that I hate the most, but that is understandable. While being beat, I could think of nothing but the pain. Then when he was done and I was trying to recover, I would then think about what I had done and why I was wrong. But that changed. My father stopped using the belt as a form of punishment. And at first I was happy, but strangely as years went on, I actually began to miss that fucking thing. And as I get older, my life is going to change a lot more. And to be honest, I know that most of those changes are going to be for the worse. My life now is completely different than it was when I was 10. I wish I could go back to those days of pain and 1,000 tears because I was secure then. I knew who I was and where I ranked in the scheme of things. But now I feel, quoting Robert Smith of The Cure, shapeless in the dark again. Meaning that without constant reminders of the higher powers above you, I feel that there's no one that can stop me. But that is not true. Back to my original point. I've always been saddened by the fact that I'm getting older. I want to go back to playing kickball. I want to go back to sweet innocent kisses with the neighbor girls. I want to go back to watching Heathcliff and Voltron and Thundercats every Saturday morning. I want to go back to Star Wars C-3PO cereal and my Dukes of Hazzard pajamas and my He-Man big wheel. I want to go back to those things because I found happiness in them. Now all the happiness I find is in the memories of past events, and strangely I'm sometimes only happy when my father is yelling at me because only then do I feel acknowledged, shaped, and never in the dark. Heaven isn't too far away. Content? Never. Happy? Hardly ever, but a believer in God? What for? A believer in myself? Not anymore. One who hates love, one who loves hate. An asshole? So? A hypocrite? No. A fan of mainstream things, a follower of dogmatic law. A nice guy all around? More like the type you'll emotionally tear down. Attractive, popular, handsome, debonair. Smart, funny, loquacious, fair. Content? Never. Happy? Someday. It's a Lewis Carroll evening. As I look into his eyes, I can tell almost everything about him. More than he wants anyone to know, and even more than he knows himself. His name is Demption. R.E. Demption. When asked what his initials stand for, he'll reply, "I'll tell you sometime." But he never will. He's a white male, late teens, dirty blonde hair, which is clean most of the time. His body is slightly built, but tall and lanky. His clothes are not name brand. They're all he can afford. He wants to look like the other kids at school with their $50 shirts and their expensive pants, but he doesn't want to conform. Large bags hang under his sullen eyes. You can tell they have seen sights that he wants to forget but never will. His hands are baby smooth but also seem worn and tired. His mouth is soft and pouty, as if it were meant to be full of sweet comments, but all that ever comes out are words meant to harm. He is greatly educated, but he doesn't find education that great. He has had enough, but they, whoever they are, don't seem to think he's had enough to survive. He has money, but spends it unwisely. It is spent on things he feels he needs, but serve no real purpose, but just to have. Born into a low-income, proud-to-be-white trash family, he moved to the suburbs to try and fit in with society. On the outside, he seems the same, but inside he's different than the whole bunch. He likes to visit places that instigate memories. He loves to reminisce. He hates visiting places that instigate memories because they make him reminisce. Reminisce about the past, a childhood of pain and torment, and just all-around bad situations. Ironically, he hates places he loves. He loves to write. He finds salvation through the flow of ink. His smooth, tired hands help him vent his frustration and anger, but not enough. Religion doesn't matter to him. God does not exist in his eyes, and if he ever thought that God did exist, then he must be dead now. His rationale on that comes from the basis that if God were real or alive, then why would he let people suffer like he does? He trusts in the government, but not fully. He finds some things they condone wrong, but as a whole they are all right. He believes that the government is not corrupt, but there is corruption in the government. He has ambitions, mainly to make a difference, somehow. He has secret desires, but they are so secret that he doesn't know. Death is not something he fears, except he fears dying without knowing love, dying unimportant and dying alone. Overall, he is the sweetest guy you can meet, but in most situations he finds himself in, he has to be a bad motherfucker, or at least act like one. His flaws greatly outnumber his good points. The main flaw he has is that he's too attached to the past, and he looks towards the future with cautious eyes. One of his strengths is that he can listen intently, and he has enough manners to look you in the eye. This whole time that I've been looking at him, he's not broken eye contact, which is probably because I'm looking in a mirror. His name isn't our redemption, but that is something he seeks. Gold Spike. Born with a name that didn't stand out, raised in suburban contract housing, sometimes forgetting which one was his. Not too good with punctuation, grammar, or spelling. Forgets to capitalize letters on occasion. Like Frosty, he frequents the road less traveled. Wants to capture every moment. Sees beauty in trivial things. Finds more color in black and white. Makes mysteries from single frames. Sees himself as a boy when watching this boy on the tracks less traveled. Reindeer games. Red fades to green, green fades to amber, and amber fades to blue. Bing plays loudly on the phonograph. Muffled voices laugh and cheer. You dream of eggnog instead of lukewarm beer. The tree begins to slouch as the lights barely twinkle. You have no Bing to play, so it's Vanilla Ice, also known as Rob Van Winkle. The windows freeze over as the white snow falls. Singing by yourself as sorrowful deck the halls. Staring at the presents that reside under the tree. No anticipation in your heart because you know what they will be. You bought them all and all for you, and none will fill the void in your heart that is reserved for a love that's true. Next door the crowd cheers as you drown in tears. A woman joyfully screams and it shatters your thoughts, your dreams. You wonder what happened to those days of old. As you sit alone and thinking, your fingers and heart turning cold. Red fades to green, green fades to amber, 30 fades to 50, 50 fades to 80, and it all fades to black. Decepticon. A faint stench of lemon heads fills my nostrils as I look upon this boy. His do-it-yourself haircut, Voltron shirt worn to shreds, the shirt partially tucked into a pair of acid-washed denim jeans that look 20 years old. Black ripped Converse All-Stars with Ninja Turtle lace fasteners are on his feet. Looking at his face, we see pain and sorrow, remnants of a sadness left after the loss of a loved one. A tear runs down the side of his nose and over his Kool-Aid mustache to his innocent, trembling lips. Millennial Lamentation. I stand alone, the world spins around, the world revolves around everyone but me. I look, I wait to see what He, God, has in store for me. I stand alone, people encircling me, they laugh. What for? At who? Why me? I tell myself we're all the same. My troubles are mine, no one else to blame. I rage, I choke on my own hate. I choke, I rage about choices I made. I offer help to those in need. When I need help, no one but me. Vertigo, I suffer from. Spinning world ensues. I'm tired, there is no one. No more. No more. No. Power of perception. Gorgeous? Of course I am. Look at this ass. My self-esteem and confidence is hella good. I love everyone and everyone loves me. Once again, look at this ass. I have everything I want and need, and can get what I don't have if I want. I don't need assistance or help of any kind. I know all and feel no pain. I am not telling the truth. Clockwork enigma. Bellows in the night awaken my divine eyes. Father Midnight croons. Timid souls arise. I know why they've come. To take me back to the place I'm from. My wings take shape. My beauty blossoms. For now, I swoon. Entity. Divinity is on my lips on this day of hope. I feel as if I'm floating. The world is beneath me. The sky is my home. The birds are peers. Peers that encourage nothing but purity. I no longer dream. My dreams are now reality. They have taken over my life and heart. I float, not knowing what's ahead. Not caring. Not fearing. Not fearing. Fear no longer controls me. Love and hope ensues. I'm free. Unsane. Screams, the falling of angels. Childish shrills, the losing of innocence. The passing of an era, it hurts. Calm tides recess into the voids of my mind, pushing back thoughts of tyranny, genocide, martyrdom. Horrific thoughts cut through my mind like a razor amidst cocaine, cutting until it hits the reflective surface of the mirror. In this mirror I see myself, yet it is not me. It is what I have become, a mere shadow of my former self, a vision I'd like to shatter. Paradoxica. Morning dew drips, pooling resources for the final battle. The army of mortal hell rises, fighting narcotic hordes of barbiturate serpents, pulsating veins of crimson light. Overtones of dark are brighter than the burning of daily flesh. Sulfur odors tickle the hairs, make them dance. A perpetual waltz of castratos. Pasty, flaky skin absorbs the golden flow. My pupils overcome, shining like the sun. Brighter, longer, dying by my hand, full of blood-dipped roses. Unknown random writing, number 1. Lately I've been thinking a lot, trying to recall the moment that changed me. Not from being immature about sex, but to respecting it, but from not caring about the outcomes of situations. The moment I stopped giving a flying fuck. I'd always wanted to have that fuck it all attitude, but could never attain it. I've narrowed it down to 2 possibilities. The first one being when my father told me that he was divorcing my mother. The second was the time I had 3 guns pointed at my head. Elaborating on the first one, my father out of nowhere told me that he was leaving and getting a divorce. This was the day I was raped, in a sense. You see, nothing came of it, and they didn't divorce. He never said anything again. I was so fucking enraged and saddened by this. Then after I got over it and realized it wasn't going to happen, he announced it again. Again, feeling that tearing of my heart. Again, nothing come of it. Nothing coming of it. My parents are still together. I was in 7th grade when that happened. Imagine growing up knowing full well that your parents don't love each other. They, my parents, ripped my mind of all its optimism. One night at 3 a.m., my friend Luke and I got pulled over coming home from KU. My friend Tim's sister invited us out to have a small party. Drinking party, of course. Good thing I don't drink. A friend, TJ, was following us back to OP because he didn't know how to get there. We took 32 through Bonner Springs. My brake lights were fucked up. They were bright all the time, so you couldn't tell when I was slowing down. This caused him to ride my ass all the way. We were going about 90 or so when the lights started flashing. They were behind TJ, so I kept going. Well, motherfucking TJ kept going too. So the cops followed us for about 2 miles. So we finally pulled over. I stopped the engine and threw the keys out the window, and as I stepped out of the truck, I heard a pig cop yelling, "Take off the coat." I had my black trench coat on, and it was fucking freezing out. I took it off and froze my fucking balls off. I got to my knees and they handcuffed me and tossed me to the freezing cold asphalt. That's when I saw they had 3 guns pointed at us. TJ was beside me on the ground. He was kind of freaking out and I was telling him to chill. The cops then noticed Luke and fucking spazzed out by going over there and pulling him out of the truck. I got a fucking ticket for defective brake lights and not yielding to safety vehicles, but I didn't get anything for speeding. I only got fined for stuff that would have occurred after they turned their lights on. The fucking pigs had no reason to pull us over. My point of the story is the guns. I had 3 guns pointed at me. In a second, my life could have ended. It was up to my actions to determine whether I lived or died. I was closest to death than I ever was before. Realization came to me, telling me that I was mortal, with higher powers controlling me. So if I could come close to death for small-ass shit like this, why should I give a shit? I no longer do. Fuck 'em. The Asphalt Hourglass. Love enthralls. Nightly demons dance. Blackness covers silver tiles. No more gleam or shine. Drips run down. Streams will flow. Surrealistic sights and sounds. A headhunter's toyland. Like Alice in the Mirror. Like Eeyore's broken tail. I seek fantasies. Seek dreams. Visions surround, but no truth. Wonderland is gone. Pooh is cast aside by Chris Robin. Pan grows old as Emerald City crumbles. Fascination, wonderment, dreams of childhood dissolve. The soles of ruby slippers worn thin. I hold the pail as the witch melts. I destroy the visions of my past, no longer needed. Yet I love them. The stories that spark my creativity, like the fire on Scarecrow's arms. Deceived. The guardian holds me back, hands on mine, guiding me, protecting me, not for all good. I respect its help but don't need it. I struggle to break its grip, days into weeks, into months, years. I conclude that I cannot be free. The grip is released. I look back. Nothing but my own hands. Morningside. Disgraced and disowned, my mind deceives me, dancing in my psyche. Angels with golden slippers tap on velvet legs. Harmonious voices ring on, echoing through the satin streets. The absence of color invites my shining soul to repent and share psychotic breaths, the last breath of cursed laments. Dying are my words. Dying is my soul. I eulogize my funeral. I bury myself by hiding emotions. Unknown random writing number 2. It's quite interesting how you change as you get older, remembering back to younger days. When outside with the neighbor kids, we always had to be home a few minutes after the streetlights came on. When it got dark, we could no longer leave. It is almost a complete 180 now. I rarely leave my house until after it's dark. It used to be stay in the neighborhood. Now it's stay in the city, or country, for that matter. I sometimes miss childhood and wish I could go back, but still knowing things I know. Go back to those years as the person I am now, and not who I was. It's true to be said that I won't enjoy being young again, but it's worth a shot. Sanctity and awe. Perplexed thoughts engulf my virgin mind, stealing its innocence, scarring its beauty. Cycloning nightmares, silky webs spun of hate, a pool of memories, flat as a board, crystal and reflective, a mirror. Blades cut through it, ruining it forever. I glide, happy, free, ruining it forever. Attain freedom, achieve salvation, deteriorating my past, its glory, its sadness. I glide, happy, free, deteriorating, past, glory, my sadness, spun of hate. Denouement. Feeling the sadness of loneliness. Feeling sad and lonely. Feeling sad. Feeling lonely. Feel sad. Feel lonely. Sad. Lonely. Feel. Darwinology. Gravitational strengths of never-ending, never-dying forces. A world of failure and myriad problems. Looking at this, I laugh. My heart turns to blue cobalt. Eyes glass over in onyx. I laugh before I inject the serum of redemption. Reverse in power. The man supports me, supplies me, backs me. The man. Open up, free your mind, he says. He hands me the paper, the feather, and the bottle of blood ink. Save yourself through writing, he says. The man. I open up, bear it all, save myself through writing. That's great, he says. Thank you. Too bad I can't let anyone read it, he says. Why? I ask. Your words are your heart and soul, your life. It's too real. That may be offensive, he says. The man. Thank you, I say. You broke off the tip of the knife in my side. I open up to be shut out. You've killed me. The man. Unknown random writing number 3. Traveling back almost a year and some change. August 98. A new girl started working with me at the movie theater. Her name was Eliza. She was a vision if ever I saw one. She was pretty in the face and had an excellent body. So being as we were, all of us West Glen guys, we were walking hard-ons around her, all hitting on her and shit. She probably got sick of it. That is when I realized that I needed to stop hitting on her like everyone else. I also realized that I fell in love with her. We talked and soon became friends, and the type where we could talk about anything, especially sex. I listened intently, playing the role of concerned guy, all the while using her image as a source for masturbatory material. However, even with our good friendship, she fell for a friend of mine named Chris, and I was jealous, of course. But actually it was his turn because he liked Mandy a lot, and I got her, and I got Karen before that. Knowing what my limits were, I backed off and watched them get together, meaning they would stay in the parking lot until about 2 a.m., eating muff and giving head, Me, still jealous. Eliza was not a very conservative girl, yet she was a virgin, but not a picky one. She wasn't waiting for marriage or the right guy, just the right spot and the right feeling. In one sense, it was like Chris and I were both dating her. I would talk to her and go to movies with her and be cordial, and he got the blowjobs. But I'm not regretful. I knew more about her than most of her friends, and that meant a lot to me, eventually opening up more and more to each other. Then we started to learn things neither of us really wanted to know. My burning desire for her and constant fire in my loins, and me wanting to shag her silly, and her happy adventures with Chris. One time even adding an asshole named Ricky to the mix. 3-way time. She didn't like Ricky. She just wanted to get with Chris. Her and I had our tough times too. Her just wanting friendship. Me wanting her to see the chemistry between us. The one day the roof caved in. I was nice and let Chris go home early. This is June 5th, 1999. Sadly, I know the date. Not knowing Eliza was getting off too, and soon to be getting off again. I watched them walk out together, knowing what was up. She had told me recently that she was over him, but fuck did she lie. Thinking they were in her car, or his car, munching away on each other's members, Chris started on the ski simulator game and Eliza pulled me aside. A few months back she told me that she had woken up with the intention of losing her virginity. Shit, I've woken up like that 1,000 times, but being a guy, it's a lot harder to cash that in. Anyway, she told me that her friend and her friend's parents were out of town, and she had a key to use their house for a special purpose. Yet the night she first told me this, she didn't utilize it, so she laid this on me again, knowing exactly what it meant. Not only does she have the fucking nerve to come and tell me she's gonna fuck Chris, not just fuck him, but give her virginity to him. She asked me for a fucking condom. You know, I'm no baby who would bitch about petty shit. It's not jealousy that pissed me off, but the fact that she knew what she meant to me. And it's as if she didn't care about my feelings. Her friend, a person whom trusts her. A friend, a person who loves her. Her friend. Things were different from then on. We were never the same. But not even a month later, we fucked for 3 hours. Virgin nature. Autumn leaves breathe life, where coital pleasures can't intrude. Spring breezes bend steel currents, an orgasm of purity fellatio can't top. Summer heat melts tarry roofs, a temperature cunnilingus won't produce. Winter chills cut through glass, forever beginning the cycle and the sex of virgin nature. Non-repeated repetition. Transponding thoughts of sea foam skin, an unearthly dream of psychedelic creations. I want to feel no pain. Little boys in creeks, finding adventure. Growing strong, turning gray, staying young. Judge me no more. No longer prostitute my love. In the land of ivory bullets, with chromium shells dipped in rotten flesh. Judge me. I want to feel. Dogmatic flaws. Tiger stripes cross leopard spots in the zoo inside myself. Delving deeper into crevices not known. Claws extract, pierce, and cling. Scratching the flesh, beckoning blood. Make me smile. Masochist dreams with sadist attire. Ethical boundaries stepped upon and over. I care no more. Morals infallible. Break down the genes of human animals. Split the atom of my earthly form in the zoo inside myself. Slits overtake my eyes. Tigers stride dominantly, crossing leopard spots. Make me smile. The plunge. Stares out the window, seeing the world, its beauty, its immortality, its never-ending cycle. Between me and this beauty, a layer of glass, thin, fragile, man-made, holding me back, teasing my senses. There is more out there than what I can see. More beauty? Yes. Darker things too. Burnt tenements, flesh-molded alleys, cum-covered walls, intercourse in a syringe. Random unknown writing number 4. I'm sitting on the bridge at my school, writing. Upon a bench next to a window, sun belting in. There's a retarded boy named Jake, a few benches down. I don't like laughing at them or making fun of them, but sometimes you can't help it. I feel sorry for them sometimes. They may never experience love or sex or anything. But then I think that they won't know they are missing anything. I'm content with that, I guess. Unknown random writing number 5. Today I read Jim Carroll's Void, of course, and Jim Morrison's The Lord and the New Creatures. 2 books in one day. Fucking crazy. I used to hate reading. I'm going to start here soon a book of poems by Robert Frost. It's as if I've become a poet and a diarist myself, and strangely I have. I am a poet. Quoting myself a few years ago, poetry's fucking gay. Now, my friends, it has become my salvation. Dead Alive. Colored blackness drifts apart as it closes in. A drowning barracuda dives deeper, causing a falling albatross to soar. Blind eyes watch me, fixated on my opaquely translucent skin. Covered in sweat, my dry skin cracks. Reaching up to touch the ground, I fall to the sky. Stop the Rain. Encrusted tombs of ancient rites stand tall like Babel to the heavens above. A bell rings, I hear. It shatters my vision. Limestone carvings, beautiful at a glance, worn away after decades. A lively boy sits, wearing thin, growing old, dying slowly. The world tries to kill him from inside out, outside in. Blazing stars shine eloquently and bright. Watching them, we watch a death. Dying and dead stars are gazed upon. Stars we see are already dead. A lively boy sits, already dead. No difference. Sensually silky smooth, blessed be those who massage others. Rough and dry, a working man's nature puts food on the table. The power to crash and caress, to scratch and bruise, to stroke and pat. They can sit and rest like tigers in tall grass, may be fast and furious if orchestrating a harmonious concerto, moving swift and briskly, scribbling down bits of words, code, feelings, soul. Hidden beneath the texture layer is the ability to kill, rape, maim. Those choices share seats with love, save, help. We have not only one kind, but all. The sky is the limit, and yet it is not. Reaching above the sky, you find heaven, and from heaven you derive what choices to make. Kill, save, rape, love, maim, help. The blood of Christ may be on them. Did you hurt or help? Ash lakes. Emerald stars in a ruby sky. Diamond dandelions sway swiftly in opal grass. Children play, prismatic, unending, amethyst pupils. Studded nerves bear winged stripes, carving crevices in their hearts like glaciers in a burnt sienna mountain. Here I soar flying high as a leopard eagle. Here I descend, parts of me falling faster than I, in a ruby sky. Torment and pain. As I looked into the eyes of God, I saw myself, a reflection from his divine eyes. I did not like who I saw. I saw a weak man. I saw a prick. I saw a martyr. Gravity. A dark horseman rides the crimson dusk until night overpowers and shows its fascist head. Dripping fangs tainted with virgin blood. Albino eyes with ash-white face stare up, crying, regretting. The sins of the past strike forth, a violent blow, a barbaric force. Repenting their sins is not an option. No time left for them. A sword rises high, blocking the creamy moon. With one swipe, the disease called sinners is wiped out. The horseman retreats to the seventh layer. Small drops leave a trail behind. From these drops grow trees of deceit and pain, trees to feed future sinners. Apples blossom, the sun peeks out, as new blood slithers by. Linklater was right. Darkness brings many things in this place. Beatings, numerous rapes, narcotic gangs are in power, in cohorts, with alcoholic cliques. Torture is an everyday occurrence. This is where I live, in this place of bias and consumerism. This is the suburbs. People think that violence and hatred is limited to the inner city. Shit, I wish. I've lived in the burbs all my life, and I see no difference in any actions, just difference in perspectives. If the burbs are such a sanctuary, then why do I hurt so? And I'm not alone. It is, however, my black hell. Do come in. This ain't no Tom Hanks film or American Beauty, even though American Beauty is the closest representation I've seen. It's not my blue heaven. Steve Martin is not around. It is, however, my black hell. Do come in. Unknown random writing number 6. It's funny how unexpected things happen. Actually, it's quite sad. It's also interesting how a day can start off one way and end up completely different. My girlfriend Marilyn and I came back to my house about 1 a.m. My parents were home, but that didn't matter. She didn't have to be home till 3 a.m. because her parents thought she was at a cast party for the play she starred in that night, The Chalk Garden. As soon as we got into my room, we undressed and made the sweetest and greatest love of all time. It was different than any other time. It was slow and sweet and more orgasmic than any time before. Flash forward 14 hours. She came over later, and as soon as I saw her, I knew something was different. I said nothing. Kirk was there too, but after a while, it was just her and I. We were lying on my futon. I was almost falling asleep when she got up and started to leave. I asked her where she was going. She said she didn't know. She stood at the doorway, watching me for about 5 minutes. Then she walked off. Inside me, I kept thinking, get up, go after her. But there I sat. 20 minutes passed and she came back upstairs and sat beside me. By this time, 1,000 things had gone through my mind. Thinking she wanted to leave, wondering if I should leave her. We sat for 10 minutes before I asked, "What is this?" referring to the situation. She said she didn't know. That's all I want to say for now. We broke up due to my actions. I thought that I wasn't ready and needed some time, and she ran off crying, and at that moment I realized what a mistake I'd made. I cried in the bathroom for about 20 minutes. Then I sat for another 10 staring at my empty fish tank. All I thought about was how to get her back. I felt I needed to get out, so I went to my friend Will's house. We were loading a tank into the back of my truck when I told him that we had broken up. He said nothing verbally. As I looked at him, his eyes said everything. His reaction was as if what I told him was the most surprising than that I killed his parents. Will also helped me realize what I did was wrong. I didn't plan on telling Kirk quite yet, and Will wouldn't say anything. However, Kirk figured it out anyway. He could tell by my voice and how Marilyn and I were acting earlier. I went home and called her cell phone and left 4 messages, saying that I was sorry and that I needed to talk to her. She called me back at 10, and luckily she took me back. I finally realized what I wanted, and she was it. Doorway of Glory. Closing my eyes, I feel all. I see all, and all sees me. Imagining a crystal lake, calm as a mirror, motionless. My foot steps upon it. The skin is tickled by its coldness. It's solid and cold, yet not ice. My heart loosens. All things bred of hate leave from within. High above, a sky almost cloudless. There is, however, one lone cloud. I gaze upon it as I take its shape and place. Floating high above the mirror lake, cold and crystal. I am now floating vapor, but feel solid. The gates open. I am finally accepted. Redeemed. Serene beauty of enormous proportions. Flaws of the eye felt, not seen. Take me back to my life, my sanctuary of love. Doves cry no more. Lusting eyes float upon turquoise waves, a gliding waltz of coital pleasure. Each step taken seals minor cracks. Sea spray excites the senses. An orgasmic rush overthrows. Salty foam trickles down her smooth, creamy skin. Her slender fingers run up my chest and over my chin to gracefully stroke anxiously awaiting lips. Lips finally touch as a cold sensation runs down our spines. Lightning strikes from her heart to mine. Our chemistry creates a small ecosystem between us. Rainy mists spray within. Emotions spoken not by words, but by love's precipitation. Forecast calls for a bright, sunny life, with 100% chance of eternal love. Weak man's exit. My taste buds are slightly excited as the metal enters my mouth. The blue cobalt steel makes teeth chatter with its coldness. Salivary glands overflow, making up for the acidic effect of the bitter taste. A large, spiked ball resides in my chest, blocking air and causing pain. The ball is pain and torment. Long, dirty hair hangs over my face, covering up the hands holding the steel. A steady shaking overtakes my head. A small cramp swells in my neck. Moisture collects in the corner of my eye, rushing over that sleep dust which still sits from yesterday. Too tired to wipe clear. A small drop forms from my eye. A small drop falls from my eye and catches a foothold on my cheek, running slowly, ever so slowly down to my quivering, guilt-stricken lips. It continues over the lips and onto the steel. Its watery texture gradually turns from shape to shape, adjoining and contorting, collaborating with every minute crease and particle in the blue cobalt. Upon reaching the line between steel and walnut, it pauses. I gaze at it as it sits, taking in a deep inhalation. For a split second, my mind is clear. I think to myself, why am I doing this? Before I answer, however, the whistle is blown. Break time is over. The drop continues, driving faster now, for the walnut has a waterproof finish. The liquid once again touches metal, cobalt blue. It consumes, the liquid that is, letters etched in the polished blue, metal, cobalt. As it continues, it deforms the letters, a section at a time. Winchester is contorted to many different likenesses. And then it happens. The cold liquid makes its final descent to my trembling finger, resting on the trigger of cobalt blue. Opus of a Mad Jack. My opus. I don't believe that it is my job to prepare my own opus, at least not literally. It can't be something I create from my own mind. Not a collection of poems, a diary, a novel, or a film. What I leave behind cannot be something that I put forth with the intent of people noticing. That is not me. No matter what you do, if you do it so someone else sees it, you put on this false facade to try and be better or look cooler. In my poetry, I use metaphors and symbolism to describe how I see the world. In my journal, I write about how the world affects me, and in the screenplays that I scribe, I try and pawn off all of my troubles and torment onto a fictitious character, trying to remove my problems while also venting anger. These actual works can never be my true opus, but how people perceive them can. In a film I write, it may not be the dialogue that a character says, but the meaning and the power that came from me to write that dialogue. In my poetry, it is not the words I want to stick in people's minds, but the images and the emotions that the words create. My opus isn't just something that I can write, but actual feelings I display to the world. If it is merely opening a door for a young lady or telling a lovely lady that she has pretty hair and changing the course of her day, my opus is not only how my work may change people, but how I am remembered and how I have changed people's lives. I've never been the greatest man. I have tried, but I always fuck things up. I've cheated on people, teased people for no reason, treated people like shit because I thought that I was better than them, which of course is far from the truth. My opus is whatever people will remember about me. Whether it is good or bad, I will be content with either. If you remember me as an arrogant prick, so be it. And if you think I'm the sweetest guy in the world, cool. I have you fooled, but cool. I just want to be remembered. Gestation. As the hourglass fills, my heart spills. To the floor, I'm out of time. Trying to recall what I did or didn't do. Why does it matter? I'm sorry what I did to you. Your innocent smile and lusting eyes, not seeing I'm your devil in disguise. The bond remains, love fills my veins. Too bad we're out of time. Your juices flow as my lips touch yours. Our skin is moist and legs entwined. I am inside you, although I hurt you. How are you still able to moan? The feeling back then was one of trust. Now that is all but lost. My love flows from me to you, to create a love for both. Time marches on. The love is born. I'm sorry I left you alone. Psychodynamica. I scream inside at night alone. The pain crescendos, my hope dies down. Voices fill my melancholy head. They whisper things evil and true, things I dread. If I'm but one, who would care? I'm on my own, filled with despair. I cast out dreams, wishes, and ambitions. Why do they matter? God, if you are real, can you hear me? Can you help me? Help me fight, stop the rage, give me hope. If I gave up, all my problems would cease, and I'd be free. Free. I am free in truth. No one holds me back. People do back me, yet I'm a freak on a leash with a grip on myself. I feel trapped by visions, things from the past, good and bad. I envision things I don't need, but want, and will never have. It is like I'm a pain junkie, and I get off on my own torment. At night alone, I scream inside. Solar paradise. Virgin isles with sandy beaches. A young lover, starfish eyes, lying naked on smooth white sand. Shuffling the body sends orgasmic rushes from head to toe. Soft summer breezes caress the hairs, flowing like grass. A cloud blocks the sun's path, covering the lover in shadows. Chills overrunning the rushes of orgasmic sand. A gentle rain follows, washing away the heat, washing away the pleasure. The lover retreats to his room. Fire ignites, sheets cover. A new sun shines, the smile of his lover. Her hands touch his body, flowing like grass. The sex of summer begins, on an isle with sandy beaches. Self-titled. Raindrops of eerie precision run down my back, wearing away the layers of sanctity, leaving a canyon of hurt. Into these voids is a secretion, a falsity to bide the time, till it all wears away, helping all but feel alone. Each drop of moisture erases a coveted memory, a time of joy and purity, innocence and love, being free and young, awaiting it all, the calm before the storm, playing, not knowing, playing, yeah, playing. I was a child then. Into the void. Serious thoughts awaken, my angelically sleeping head. Dreams of sex and masturbatory wishes vanish. Bye-bye. Hello, new concerns of trivial feces, stuff that doesn't matter but makes me rage. The struggle takes its toll after time, eroding my already bruised soul. Bye-bye. Putrid soldiers of material things invade my narrow mind. My ass don't need this, don't deserve this, don't need this. Fuck it all away. Bye-bye. Hellbound. Terror reaffirms its place, wreaking havoc on all us sinners, causing us to kill, although it is fun. A man draws in a breath exhaled by God. The man dies. Carbon dioxide kills. If God had shared his breath, the man would have lived. But God doesn't share the sadist fuck. Try lending a hand. We do. Learn from us. Try for once. We do. Gauged. The taste of blue cobalt steel in your mouth is good, except when there is a trigger at the other end. One slip, no more. One slip, goodbye. Have you ever watched a tear slowly fall from your eye to your nose, from your nose to your lip, to the long barrel of blue steel, traveling, till it hits the walnut stalk and runs across to your trembling finger? One slip. Bosch Barracuda. Dreams of tomorrow break inside my congealed head, taking in, absorbing. My taste buds are excited by grit and steel, the two minerals of a content life form. Salty like teardrops, acidic like lime. Eyelids droop as I become erect, crying an orgasm of tears, sulfuric stench of sex, slimy wax of ear-like form sliding down my drums. Playing a pizzicato suite, I slowly tap my foot to the beat. Into your eyes. Bleeding my soul, a tortured diary spurts forth, covering canvas with maroon inscriptions, a macabre of idealism and sorrow. Surrealism overpowers. A poetic playground, romantic swings, mystic jungle. A complex chutes and ladders slide forth, blood lubricating walls. Creaking of steel on steel, breaking of a childhood mindset. The beginning descent, clothed in striped socks knee-high, halfway, jeans and a tee. This is the end, Morrison said, clothed in wrinkles and a three-piece, hush puppy feet. Silence sights seen over ages. Blood puppies adorn my soul and souls, covered in my tortured diary, maroon encryptions. Things long ago seem real, too real. Things long ago are real, too real. My soul bleeds down my white tee, streaking my striped socks, covering my hush puppy feet in this poetic, romantic, mystic jungle. Puma. A ladder of 68. Upon 4 I stand, glaring up, seeing the worn souls of others before me. Ascending to righteousness. Struggle. Make it to 5. My muscles contract, pulling so hard, bleeding inside. I feel the flow. At 37 there is a rest stop. A constant raining of urine soaks me. Make it to 5. Who tied my laces to the rung? They prevent my success, yet I'm barefoot. See, hear, speak, think. Starting in the realm of loneliness, I follow the blazing star to the land of hope, a seaport, harboring brothers. The 4 stand together as one, all following the same path to meet this day, a glorious day when the sky turned from gray. We stood tall, fighting them all, preventing the fall of another, gripping tight the hands of our brother. Yellow Brick Road. On my journey towards insanity, I stopped to smell the briar patch, for a briar by any other name would smell as sweet. It cuts my nose. Avoiding a patch of roses for fear they might scratch. Others follow, I lead the way. My eyes, body, and soul, all monochromatic gray. Staring into an abyss, it also sees me. I toss in a nickel. Willie and the poor boys don't take pennies. Spotted zebras pounce the striped Dalmatian. I touch myself, no one sees. Polka dot bandana strangles my conceited skull. Blood backs up, pressure builds. Wondering what size shoe that snake wears. Wait, they don't have feet. Maybe he'll prefer sandals. Shedding away inhibition. The abyss also sees me. To Alex. In a numerical system of love, 17 and 18 have the ability to make 1. Combining of dual 23s makes 1. The adding of an extra creates a strange one. If told I was to be a father, I'd choke. My heart would stop, my heart would cease. Not from shock, mind you, nor horror. Thoughts would overload my butter-like cerebral processor. All choices at said point in time would equal the sum of shit. A small percentage, shit, yeah. A small percentage, shit, we can't afford it. And a disturbing percentage, shit, my child must die. The Changeling. A freight train glides drably, careening over perpendicular steel and wood. Embedded spikes stab my scaly foot. Tiptoe through the garden of bubonic decay and pornographic waste. A picture of me is covered in feces. Celestial rays pivot and swirl about. A psycho-disco full as a reservoir, preserving liquid asphalt to solidify and crash. Rusted frames surrounding images, born of my creativity and lust. The train collides with insanity, instead of giving it a lift. Last in line. No poem can ever suffice, ever explain, ever end the feelings and thoughts inside my head. I write and the worse I feel. If I stop, I'll fill up with hate and anger. I realized, finally, that I am evil, not divine. Everyone hurts. All I care about is me, hurting others to fulfill my needs. The Antichrist has been born, inside my mind, inside my body, killing my soul. Sometimes things that should affect me aren't even noticed. They are dealt away like deuces, no matter the hand. I'll bet it all, no matter their bet, all their worth. I'll take it, exploit it, and laugh. I am evil, not divine. I don't exist. Sometimes I think, while I lie here awake, why has God done this to me? I tried to be good, but folks never would open their hearts and give in. I wish sometimes that I was someone else, then maybe I'd finally win. Rage fills my mind as it eats me inside. Why must it always be me? Please, please let me in. I know I can be someone better. Nothing matters to me anymore. Just wanting to see what God has in store. Why? Why can't I be free? Free. I know I am evil, would give me a chance. I serenade with the devil, a sorrowful dance. Inner fury. Tilling a river of my creations, fording a flowing delta of emotions rushing forth, a damnation to the lower realm, inviting my distempered soul, dogma destroyed by realism, creationism thrown out by facts of evolution, capitalism fueled by corruption, burning strong, growing bright, ephemeral images glorified like saints, standing high above peasants, royalty still rules. The faces of martyrs flash forward, preaching the power of the Almighty, miracles performed by Gentiles, blasted force, ascending the social pyramid, virgin goddesses bearing fruit, flowering like a spring bud, blossoming in fidelity, coveting the mate of another. Young boys break the soul, reaching out, becoming men, rebirth through the dying of innocence. Repercussions. Blowing ever so lovely, I watch her shining hair. Its beauty is not just its appearance, for there is more to it and more to her. Her eyes tell me that she hurts, has always been hurt, yet hopefully will never be hurt again. It's assumed that she has enemies, and has been labeled profanely. These labels are not her all the time, just on occasions when she can no longer hold back. It is sad that such lovely people are slowly ate away by incompetent others who, having no self-esteem themselves, find their salvation by ruining others. Have you ever watched a leaf stuck in a blade of grass? It struggles to be free and show its independence. The wind is a soft voice telling it to go, and gently gives it a push. The grass, sadly, becomes the antagonist, holding back the leaf, holding back its hope, holding its soul, and preventing its freedom. Change your view for a moment. The grass is a mother being, using maternal instincts to preserve the leaf's sanctity. What if the wind was a foe, telling the leaf to go for it, be free, and fight the power? But what can the wind offer? No set destination, no secure place to fall, just a wild ride through the sky with no boundaries. The leaf I watched is now gone. A legacy of rage, a farewell to Brandon Lee. Too early your star burnt out, a light taken from our eyes. You burned so fast and bright, taken one unfortunate night. In your wake you stunned millions, with your beauty, brilliance, strength. I knew you not, but I knew you well. Your smiling face forever etched in my mind. We loved you, Brandon, always will. You watch down over us now. Forever we gaze up to see your shining light. It burn out, but believers still see. More than an actor or martial artist you were, but a friend and idol. We were lucky to have seen you in your blaze of glory. Your name forever on our lips, part of you embedded in our souls, guiding us in ways unimaginable. We love you. Jesus wept for you, my friend. Clock dog. Days keep spinning fearlessly. Time advances, knowing no boundaries. Still not knowing where to head. Which door shall I open? Which pill shall I take? Shall I grow taller or shrink smaller? Click my heels, return home? Follow the red brick road or the one less traveled by? A prepared fate, made of silver, not clay. Worth much, but not malleable, not changeable, forever fixed. My wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Diamond. Through the tempered glass window, a pedophile old man creeps slowly over the fence, through the bushes and trees, into the shed. My eyes glued to it, walking forward, opening the tempered glass, crawling through, pant cuff tugging, eyes never leaving the pedophile's shed. I walked slowly but swiftly to the steel construction. Entering the abode my eyes were fixed upon. Empty. No man. No creeping man. No pedophile creeping man. Old man creeping pedophile. No. Knees shake as my hair blows, like dust in the wind. Turn my back, still feeling a presence. The man has invaded me. He's not here now, but will always be there creeping. An unconscious part always knowing I was fooled. I was beaten. The man overtook me, crept into the shed of my mind. Life accumulus. Some days I'm slow, hardly move, not noticeable. Movement not seen unless not focused upon. Focus on objects stationary, blurrily see me move. Some days I'm fast, blowing hard, cycloning around grayish, not keeping up, forever moving, forever changing. Totally different now than I was 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes from now. Different from now, swirling, cycloning, spinning, changing forms, forever moving. Some days I'm not even here. Tripsy, for Marilyn. She doesn't see good looks. She doesn't see wealth, whether I have either. She doesn't see popularity. She doesn't see talent, whether I have either. I ask myself, if she doesn't see me for these things, what does she see in me? She sees me, the one who holds her close, the one who writes her poems, the one who strokes her silky hair, the one who sings to her. She sees me, the one who completes her. Quoting Harry Chapin, may I someday be what it is she sees in me. It's always Tuesday in my house. For Will. 12 years ago I met you. Softball brought us together, never crossing my mind that you would be there forever. It's amazing how two people, totally different, are so alike. Both driven to Lenexa, to build a friendship, a bond that never breaks, never fades, never will. I never told you I love you. Do I even need to? I'm sure you know. Looking at you, I don't see my friend Will. I see another part of me. Hobbies and passions are different, but we learn from one another. I feel so secure around you. You'll never judge me, never turn on me, never rub my mistakes in my face. It's great how I don't need to ask you to keep a secret. It would be an insult if I did. Even though you are so talented, it makes me sick. I'll still put up with you. Master carpenter, mechanic, guitarist, pool shark, artist, friend. I've learned so much from you, Will. Mainly how much love two men can share. I've just one question. Are you scared of the future too? Will it always be the four of us? I'm sure we'll be together. Me and my brother, who speaks no evil. Could have been better. For Kirk. Out of everyone I know, you are the most cherished to me. We are so alike it boggles my mind. We've both seen things and felt things we wish to forget, and we struggle through our art to release the pain from within. I look at you sometimes and I know what you're thinking. That alone scares me. You have thought things that aren't right. I won't ignore the fact that you aren't always happy, but you know I'm here. You are more like a brother than almost anyone. Do you feel the same way? You'll always have a place in my heart. When you hurt, I do the same. If you cried, so did I. The glory and power you harbor is so amazing. The artwork you love but pretend not to. The common knowledge. You are too bright for your own good sometimes. The humor you have. I can't look at you without smiling. It's etched in my mind that you will always strive on. Be strong, I know you can. The road ahead is bumpy and unsure. Fight it. I'll be here to help. I love you more than life itself. I'm sure we'll be together. Me and my brother, who hears no evil. The song remains the same. For Tim. It is funny how, even years later, I still see you as the new guy. You've been with us for 7 long years, and you still have this freshness. You must admit that you haven't always followed the same path as me and the others, veering off the road many times in many ways. Other friends you have may have helped you procure your chemical needs, but can they offer the trust and love that we can? It's highly unimaginable. You and I have been through a lot, seeing and doing things just plain crazy, but we still play on. I do still have a feeling that there is a secret battle waiting in the wings, a final confrontation, one more decision to make. It is possible we lose you to chemical needs, but we both know we can win. You don't know how much you mean to me as a friend. Losing you is one thing. Losing you to a chemical is another. Our future sucks us closer every day. Our lives will change in dramatic ways. I'm sure we'll be together. Me and my brother, who thinks no evil. Sixpence all the richer. For Caroline. As friends go, my eyes have been opened by you more than anyone. Although as a girlfriend it was a struggle to win your heart, but as a friend you slid into my arms. I'd always known that there was more to relationship than sex. Not until you did I experience love. Love that was so pure, sex wasn't needed to hold it together. While even though you have almost gone from my life, the memories, feelings, and lessons I got from you live on. You meant a lot to me. Just thought you should know. This will not do. Writing on a fresh blank page seems so obscure. It becomes a game with no winners. It is like ruining something pure, marking on its cleanliness. How much is enough to write to justify your writing? Is 5 lines a waste of paper? Is 50 lines cramming too much on one page? Parts of thoughts can never be erased. Secret enemies aspire through creativity, slowly gyrating, pulling your atoms like strings. A puppet you are to these invisible hands in your head, your oily hand shuffling across the plain white, jade fingerprints not viewable by your ruby eyes, shafts of light melting the nickel from your name onto your silver tongue, maniacal forces driving semis of rage through the highways of your ear canals, screaming loudly eastbound and down, smoking like the bandit. You know shit. Kansas is home to more than fields of wheat, flying houses, and munchkins. The county in which I live is one of the richest and most prosperous in the world. It shows, which makes me sick. We sit, supposedly, in a dream world. We sit, not knowing how the world works. We sit, so naive and innocent. We sit, born with silver spoons and high allowances. We sit, not seeing the pain others experience. If you think this, who the fuck are you to judge? If we're so rich, why do we hurt so bad? Money can't buy happiness, everyone knows that. If we don't know how the world works, how can we learn? If teens are labeled as evil and have a stigma placed on them and are so naive and innocent, why do we help make more changes in society than adults? All you see in us is rap and hard rock music, teenage alcoholics and youthful sex fiends, druggies and jocks, freaks and preps, kids who shoot up schools for no reason. Sadly, we have reasons for lashes of violence, to revolt against the government for not regulating the media. The media runs us all, never showing teenage glory, just teenage guts. We never do anything good, except conjure up newsworthy events. Chamber. In the woods I find a sense of freedom. The smell of crystal leaves with pine tar wood. Fear is left in the anal sex of the city, its rottenness and filth, its unclean purity. Walking through the woods as tall as mountains, I venture back to adolescence. Cool blowing breezes, the chill of rain. Standing naked I feel secure. The forest clothes me. Its million-mile-high canopy blocks out harsh demonic storms. Fallen bark covers me. Termites tickle my nerves. I kinda like it. A warmth continuous throughout my body, even in a wintry snow. I run free, arms outstretched like razors, cutting down my forest, exposing me for what I am, an insecure boy, naked in the forest, drenched in April showers, heading back to be raped by the city. The end of innocence. I remember when I was young, watching Heathcliff, Thundercats, and Voltron, running through backyards shooting fake guns, arguing over who shot who first, carrying around a plastic wiffle ball bat thinking I was Luke Skywalker. Nintendo was fun. I loved Duck Hunt, except for that damn laughing dog. The Goonies, The Lost Boys, The Breakfast Club, films of my generation that will always stand by me. I remember when I was young, a time before the backyards were fenced, a time of purity and joy, innocence and love, being young and free, awaiting it all, the calm before the storm, playing, not knowing, playing, playing. I was a child then. Time. Around me the leaves are still, the trees don't sway. Sun beating down, no breeze today. A tyrannical wind blows and tears through the chamber of my mind. It hurts, it does. Too many questions, too many thoughts, goals, dreams, hopes, none to focus on. Life spins around me standing still. Clouds fade off, leaving me bare. Material things are all I strive for. It's such a fucking waste. 10 years from now I will have everything. Everything I wanted, that is. Yet inside I will still be a child, wanting nothing but more. Altercation. The face in the mirror. Why does it have to be mine? I see my own image corrupt and evil, hoping to see the image of old, 10 years back, the image of who I was, 10 years back, the image of who I'm not anymore. Dark child. He wipes the blood from his ashen hands, a melancholy burden of pure hatred. Dark shots of cynic juice invades his veins, overchurning, overtaking, burning. The eyes raise, and they slowly burn, glowing red and ferocious, fiery. They melt his heart into a pool. He dives in and is swallowed by a satanic creation born of love. Requiem for a Martyr. Its slimy skin engulfs my soul, wrapping, sliding, feeling, grinning, slowly fueling the rage, awaiting a pernicious end. It will never die, I know this. I shall never quit. I'll fight and tear and punch and kick, through bile and blood and piss and shit. The lake of fire will never be home. It will never be my master. Its lair is not as safe as thought. Its overconfidence will be its downfall. Paradise was once lost and then regained. I know I can do the same. It slithers and slithers forth and back. It does not own me, but believes it so. What force is biding its time? I know not, but am curious to know. The end is near, for I have foreseen. Sadistically glad this is no dream. My position in hell, I hold it firm. The lake of fire, my palace, my brother, the worm. White heat. There will always be two doors to any house, anywhere. In and out, out and in, front and back, back and front. Choices there will always be, right and wrong, wrong and right. Dreams in the day, dreams at night. Behind each door is a path, an in, back, and right, or an out, front, and wrong. Choose wisely your door, especially if you live on the edge. So mote it be. Powers of the dark compel me to do what needs to be done. I take a stand for my cause, protect it. I pray you sinners to run. No attention will be paid to race, sex, or class. The end is drawing near. I'll watch and wait the day it comes to pass. I am the son of my father, and a leader he is to me. After we destroy you, we can be free. The dark angel, the worm, and me. Unknown random writing number 7. Chelsea remembered the first I love you that came from his mouth. It meant a lot to her. To him it was just words. Words to keep her mind busy. He had just had his fingers in her snatch, and it was the first time he had ever touched one. He had dreamed about it, curious as to what it would feel like and smell like. He now knew both. He was curious about the taste, but didn't press his luck. The words, I love you, he thought would stick in her mind. Make her think that he liked her for her, not just because he could cop a feel of her crotch. The words meant a lot to her. She felt comforted by them, even though she could feel the lie. The unicorn. It stood in the sun after a day of rain, the smell of the rain overpowering, but not as much as its beauty. The graceful movements and sparkling eyes. So amazed I was to see one as fine. I strived to attain and take control, my actions premature. Creeping over to catch it, I always made a noise, snapped a twig, popped a joint. It always retreated, moved away, leaving me in its wake, in its fresh prints. I wanted it to be mine. So badly I did, but never got close. Then I finally realized it. Maybe it's not scared of me, my actions, my intentions. It doesn't mind me looking or wanting, as long as that's all. It just wants to be left alone. Control its own life, make its own path. It's not that it didn't want anyone approaching. It just didn't want me. On first realization, that hurt, but the hurt faded away. I now feel privileged to have known it, to have seen it in its innocence, and to have been able to watch it grow and change, be molded to what it is today, not better or worse, just different. People always say you can't catch a unicorn, and that they do not exist. They do exist. We just picture them wrong. And you can catch a unicorn, just not your unicorn. Your unicorn is that one girl, the one who will always get away. Trawl. For Hubert. Selby dreamed the dream of a chilling requiem, giving beauty to pain and pain to beauty, taking the exit of the last to Brooklyn and its past, showing us real life, helping us understand what it takes to be free. We all grow and die like a weeping willow tree. We all have our demons to be killed and cast aside. It is not easy. Never think it so. You'll truly be surprised. Inside we see things made up or real. Remember the way we want, not exactly how it happened. Thinking about those times in your room when trapped by your mind. Sing daily, sing nightly. Sing it soft and slow. Sing of your dream, of your demon, your exit or your room, or the places you wish to go. Sing with your willow tree, the song of the silent snow. Legend. There is a shocking legend of Halsey and 51st. Quarrels never cease of which version is the worst. A story of coincidence, a matter of fact and chance. Details so minute, almost choreographed like a dance. Evidence exists that proves the story true. It happened on a cold dark night. It's as real as me and you. Quarrels never cease, debates never end, of which version is pure truth and the best to defend. This is the shocking legend of Halsey and 51st. Have a gander, be prepared. This version is the worst. Biddy diddy bop, a bop diddy biddy. Ozark mountains, plains, rivers, trees. A virgin boy, blonde hair shorn, young Jezebel on her knees. The breeze is cool, the water chills, trickles of sensation and myriad thrills. Black heart dialectic clicks, denim neo-Nazi hippie chicks, cinematic pedophiles with fecal fetish, long-haired hip cat with a high-strung pernicious wish, cum-stained boxers on a pubic-free ball, look at the sky wanting to fall, Iraqi camel fucker horse liquor cock shit, young snatch with peanut butter gyrating cat's nip, program junkies with remote-controlled veins, digital pyros, heroin at the reins, emerald quarry like the city of Oz, corrupting a virgin or someone who never was. Display the patriarchs in patricide. Fast forward through the anarchists and genocide. Scribing a requiem of mortal abortions. Fetal deaths make up the mass. Eat the fucker that choked the class. Shoot up the venom of blood-crazed lesbos, with acid-washed skin on rock-hard tiptoes. Smith said, "Kiss me goodbye," and watched the animals die. Carol wrote, "Little kids shoot marbles where branches break the sun." Kerouac, Ginsberg, and Cassidy paved the way for the asphalt revolution. P.T. born a new age genre with style and truth and balls, watching Dirk Diggler rise and the Exodus frogs fall. Cock. We are not children. We are not youth. We are not nice, so fuck you. We are strong. We are powerful, so fuck you. We do not like you. We do not want you. We do not respect you, so fuck you. We do hate you. We do fuck you. We do own you, so fuck you. We do not love you. We do not need you. We want to fucking kill you. We run this fucking country. We run this fucking world. We know there is nothing you can do, so fuck you. We will fucking rape you as you did us. Corrupt you as you did us, so fuck you. Bourgeoisie. 1. People spend their days spinning like a top. A bunch of mindless fucking sheep. I wish it'd fucking stop. 2. A woman touched my heart before it was fully grown. Like a butterfly with molested wings, I could never fly again. 3. I can feel the tension mounting, building like a volcano on the verge of orgasm. What a poor, pathetic soul I am, not fit for any love. You laugh at me and so do I. Who gives a flying fuck? 4. There is a place, I see it in my dreams. I see this face, pale, in this place, and it screams. It echoes and resonates, reverberates and dies. The torment is seen in its dark, bloody eyes. Turn. Fearing the night is something I've done. Hasn't everyone done it too? Or am I alone again? At times I can see clearly. Mostly it is blurred. I search in the night for a purpose, a word, but nothing I've found. Never ceases to amaze me how dumb I can feel. Spinning is my mind on a never-turning wheel. Paradise lust. Coming into the glory days, I slowly fade away. Feeling the death march closing in, their requiem starts to play. The conductor in the black veil raises his baton and taps his toe, scraping the asphalt with his spur, lowers the brim of his cowboy hat, and blinks his scully eye. Jubilation nights. Once I had this dream where I died in a pool of pure hate, collected over years and years, hate that poured out of my brow like a black viscous sweat. Dipped my finger in it, I did, raised it to my lips, tasted bitter, very bitter, but boy was it great. Cerveza. If you look closely at a stick of gum, you can see the face of God. I noticed that one day when eating Cheetos. Ever since then, I've been different. I've felt this overpowering presence, like a friend or helping hand. I no longer feel alone. That's all I've ever wanted. He looked like a flavor crystal. Quasar writes, rolling waves crash in my mind, eroding the dreams of childhood. There are these misfit sinners in my mind, in my head, in my soul, burrowing and killing me, slowly and surely. For centuries they have striven. Ancient mysteries were born through their power. Jesus, why do I hurt? Through their will, I must conquer them, kill them. Mass genocide is in my eyes. Drug regime. Bands strike up, and it hurts me. It feels like 1,000 knives. I hate the way it makes me feel both half dead, half alive. The only thing that makes me strive on is a dying want to not. Shit pisses me off, especially when it's not shit, but something that is, but ain't also, and something that never won't be what it is not. It makes sense to me. 6:87. 51st, I see it, like it was that day. Standing beside Carol, diary in hand, we talked and played and talked and regaled. Carol and I, the diary, the field. He talked of the past, things he'd seen. I spoke of the future, my hopes and dreams. Our generations contrast, our styles are the same. One thing that's not different is the people we blame. For deaths, for rapes, for pain, for hate, for lying, for cheating, for saying it's too late. Our parents, our teachers, our policemen, our priests, our elders, our bosses, our socially distorted, unfaithful, doubting beasts. Unlike those before, we tend to strive on, with the bang of our gong and the rise of the sun. We fight for not only us, our peers, our generation, but also for those before us, who paved our way with words. Kerouac, Rimbaud, Selby Jr., Ginsberg, forefathers of American art. Some of them are gone, yet their words still shine, always will, to the end of ours and your time. Every day someone new picks up a pen, and for that person a new world begins. A world of expression, surrealism, and then of mysticism, existentialism, diarism, and then a new face, fresh and forlorn, to flow out their feelings through the ink from a pen. Thinking of this, I always choke. I'm no one. I know this, but I'm no one who wrote. My words may be trivial, may rhyme or may not. Perhaps I don't put a period or dot. For the rest of the day's existence has left, my words will be carried along without jest. And if everything I've said or will say is gone, maybe one line will survive and live on. In the back of a matchbook, a mind or a throat. I am no one who wrote. Beat. Finish reading Burroughs' Junkie. Something about H attracts me. Almost makes me want to try and get a taste. Form a habit. Junkies can always tell the coolest stories. After they've come off a nod, of course. They're always doing something, when not on a nod. Robbing, mugging, lush working, dropping bennies, drinking codeine. Always passing the time. To me, that sounds like fun. I should get hooked, become a junkie, see if I can break my habit. Then I can be like the greats, Burroughs, Carroll, Noel, or I could be myself. Injustice for all. We live in a place where we are raised to think we are gods, invincible, indestructible, never caring about our past, never caring about our future. Crime and poverty doesn't cross our minds, only money and possessions. In our country, we think we rule the world, thinking all other countries worship us. Sometimes we are proven wrong. We are wrong. We never acknowledge how important we are not, until we are knocked off our cloud by terrorists. Wall Street business is dead. Consumerism is dead, for now. Our city that never sleeps is unconscious. Kings of business covered in dust. It is not deserved or condoned, but it is not that surprising. The world is not rational. The world is not civilized. It is irrational, uncivilized. Childhood is now over for thousands of kids today. They now see the true world, a savage world, and we must pay for that with their innocence and our blood. Written September 11th, 2001. Just to piss off Tripsy. It has been a long time since I first looked in your eyes and saw the beauty and your love for me, feeling that hole in me filling with your heart, looking at you, knowing it will be okay. It is amazing how I can still see and feel that after 2 years. Still as strong, or even stronger. I love you. Stage evolution. I do not like these things I do. They may hurt me more than help. Sometimes I justify them based on stupidity and allow it to continue, lying to myself, while killing myself with those lies, and all I ask is why. You can't tell me it's just how I am. See, I know that is bullshit. To be honest, I don't care anymore. Usually I only feel bad because I know I'm supposed to, even when I'm glad I did what I did. Seems to me that I'm happy not being happy. Doesn't matter anyway. All I do is talk about changes. Yet I never do anything to change. And I piss and moan and bitch, thinking it will all be different someday. My day will come when I see the real darkness inside. Yes, I will feel the true me. However dark it may seem now is only a preparation. One day it will overrun my body and mind and kill me. Until then, I will keep on this fucked up track, shitting on myself and my history, enjoying every second. Self-titled. I remember when I was young, before all of the backyards were fenced, and the neighbors took time to learn your name. Running all day, playing guns or tag, carrying a wiffle ball bat, thinking I was Luke Skywalker. The days were so fresh, the air was so pure, like all of us young playing kids. When boys were boys, girls were girls, when color never mattered. Watching Thundercats or Voltron, Transformers and Heathcliff, Jason the Wheeled Warriors and Mask. Never thinking about the passage of time. Never thinking of what we will eventually lose. It was a time of joy and purity, innocence and love, being young and free, awaiting it all, the calm before the storm, playing, not knowing, playing, yeah, playing. I was a child then, till the streetlights came on.